Noah!
What?
It's RidgeCast Day.
Oh no, it's Wednesday.
I almost forgot it's Wednesday.
Oh goodness, alright.
Okay. Noah.
What?
I'm too tired to do RidgeCast today.
Yeah, it's really early in the morning.
Wait, I have an idea.
What?
We get other people to make the videos for us.
Oh.
That's a good idea.
I like this.
Hey Jags, I'm Gavin.
And I'm Noah.
And together we are
RidgeCast.
Sleepycast. All right, we got one announcement from us. Tie-dye Tuesday, this Tuesday. Wear tie-dye. Tuesday. Exciting.
Are you wearing tie-dye?
Not right now, but on Tuesday I will.
I'm going to be wearing tie-dye.
That's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
All right, we got so much content to get through. Let's get to it. Video.
Welcome to urban farming.
Welcome to Urban Farming and Soil Chemistry. Teachers of Tomorrow is a year-long course for juniors and seniors who believe they want to become a teacher or work with children. The course includes an internship in a classroom. Here are some current teachers who completed the class and some students to give you their ideas.
I took the teaching class when I was a senior in high school. I had known since I was a sophomore that I loved coaching sports, and I knew that teaching was a part of that. And I heard about the teaching class at the time and knew I had to take it, and it was a great introduction to all things education.
What brought me to be a dual language teacher in the Pelham School District would be I actually moved here when I was 6 years old from Mexico, so I arrived here not knowing any English. I want to do that for somebody. Like I want to help kids who were like me, and so that was from that moment I was like I want to be them. So yeah.
Something that I've learned in the class is how to make lesson plans and also include like every student, whether diverse or anything, they're all treated equal.
And I've had a lot of teachers throughout my schooling career that have had a really positive impact on me, and that's how I want to impact my students when I'm older.
I feel like it makes me have a different perspective on what it's like to be in the classroom, and also a different perspective on what teaching is.
Hello. Good morning, Your Honor. Members of the jury, my name is Caleb. Today I will be representing the state.
My defendant met Milan Jackson in early September, and from the start it was clear that Milan was eager to join Phi Gamma, the co-ed group fraternity at Columbus University.
Respond to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding. Please respond, I do.
I do.
Who is Milan?
Milan's my best friend.
When she reached the campus center, where did she go?
She went up the clock tower.
What was your relationship with Milan during this time?
Just friends.
Just friends, nothing else?
Nothing else.
Okay. You're president at Gamma, correct?
Yes.
My name is Yana Zynchkowska. I'm here representing the prosecution. The evidence has clearly shown that the defendant, Chris Archer, is guilty of the charges of first-degree murder and criminal hazing.
Good morning, Your Honor, and members of the jury. My name is Hannah Jill. I'm representing the defendant in this case. Milan had a terrible death on November 22nd, 1997, at the age of 18.
In the case of New Columbia versus Chris Archer on count 1 of first-degree murder, the jury defines the defendant, Chris Archer, not guilty.
My name is Matt Kavanaugh, and you failed, but it can be fixed. Do you know how many of you bought a yearbook? Not enough. You can't use your phone in class, but you know what you can use? A book. Your pictures can be stolen online. You know what can't be stolen? A book.
You can't put a price on owning a piece of history, but the students in your book did. And for just $65, a yearbook will be freshly baked just for you.
I encourage you to leave your class right now and go to the bookkeeper and pre-order your yearbook.
Emerald Ridge sports last week was pretty big, as it came down to girls and boys basketball, wrestling, swimming, and bowling. As here, the first game I went to was the tip-off between Olympia and Emerald Ridge here at home. Emerald Ridge led the game for most of the game up until the fourth quarter. As you can see here during this second quarter play for Emerald Ridge, they were up by 6. They would go up by about as many as 10, but then Olympia would cut the lead. But with this free throw here, it would make it 3. But then watch what Olympia does next. Look at that. Olympia calls a timeout on what would have been the game tying 3 to move it to overtime. But if we look at what happens next, because as you can see here, Olympia tries to make the clutch 3, but it bounces off the rim, and Emerald Ridge wins 53-50. The next day I went to wrestling, and there were a bunch of senior night honorees, as you can see here between these seniors shown. Then it came down to the main event. Curtis was against Emerald Ridge in this match, and Curtis really won most of the fights. Or I should say bouts or rounds. I don't know. Anyway, Curtis won most of them with a few wins by Emerald Ridge. As you can see here, Daniela going up against one of the Curtis wrestlers and pinning her to the ground. Then here was another one. This is the one I saw that really, this reminds me of Trent Williams this past Sunday. That really reminds me of Trent Williams. Okay, I need to stop coping that loss. Anyway, there's more here, more wrestling. And yeah, Curtis mainly won that. But anyway, we go back to the next day, and girls basketball was at it again against Rogers. This was a blowout as if I've ever seen one. Emerald Ridge won this game by so much it wasn't even funny. Here was the best part about the girls' game, though, that really hyped up the crowd, was the cheerleaders, and they were doing really great shows. Anyway, back to the girls' game. As you can see here, this nice three-pointer, swish right through the hoop, and there's the very erratic Coach Mosley after there was some kind of foul going on, and he really didn't like it. Something about angry coaches is just very amusing to me. Anyway, as we go back, Emerald Ridge would win by a score of 69-29. This is as blowout as I've ever seen. During senior night, though, the balloons got stuck in the roof, which was the funniest thing ever. Then it was the boys' game up next. And this was a very close game. The crowd was very erratic, as well as the Rogers side. And then here was the cheerleaders again, but they were being used as basketball hoops, as the crowd would just throw their pom-poms like a basketball right into their arms like a hoop. Anyway, as we go forward, the boys' team would fight hard. Very, very hard. Lots of fouls. There were 38 combined fouls. That's a lot of fouls. The pep band was trying to rally them up even, which was one of the best parts about being at the game, was listening to the band, the crowd, and the game ambience. But it would be a hard-fought loss, though, as Emerald Ridge would end up losing 60-45. Anyway, another big thing to congratulate is between the girls, bowling, and the swimming team. The bowling team actually finished second in state, or districts, I should say, and booked a spot in state. A couple of swimmers also qualified for state, which is great. Next week, we'll have some more sports. For that, I'll talk to you next week.
Noah! You fell asleep again.
Again?
Oh my goodness.
Are they done?
We're done. The videos are over.
The videos are done?
The videos are over. I can't believe you fell asleep. They were all so interesting.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
You're the worst.
I know.
We want to shout out our new sportscaster, Dror. He's going to be making sports videos every week. He's a very committed and cool guy. That's all we got this week. Isn't it, Noah?
I think that's all, guys.
I think that's all. I think we should go back to sleep.
Yeah.
End of RidgeCast. Let's go back to sleep.
Bye.